Hello there, hello everybody. I am not a professional reviewer. This is just my experience. Is my experience with the S21 Ultra. This is a 512 gigabyte version, Pro Ultra. I don't know. Exynos, so the European version. So first of all, when you install it, when you have the first setup that I used the smart switch, as I was told by the install setup process that I should use it. I did, and it made the phone very unreliable. It was freezing like once or twice a week, and whenever I hit the recent buttons and close all, it was freezing immediately. Not always, but like many times. And also the vase was freezing a lot, and so yeah, basically I had many issues. And then at one forum somebody said that I should reset it and skip the smart switch thing, and just one by one install everything, and since then it's working perfectly. So if you have something similar, something unreliability or anything, then you should reset it and start without the smart switch. So first of all, I don't know where to start. Okay, so you call somebody. I call mama. So when you have a call and you put it against your ear, of course, then it should be a sensor which is sensing proximity. So if your ear is closed, then it's turning off the screen. It does it, but I have this feeling, since there is only one camera, it not does that. So there is some trick that I guess they have this, how many percentage of the screen is touched, and during that they do this thing that it sometimes does, sometimes not. Anyway, I'm just telling you this because when you are talking and put it against your ear, many times it just turn on, and you do this all the time. Sometimes I push things with my ear, so sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. I cannot put my finger on how is it working. Where is the sensor? Is there a sensor? Not. Is it the... Anyway, so I have this issue a lot. I'm talking, and during the phone call I can see in the corner of my eye the phone is turned on, and sometimes the screen is changing because I touch things with my ear. Anyway, so the next one is the official dialer. The official dialer is something I don't like. First of all, when you are in the keypad, there is no log, there is no recent calls. So when you start to make it do some search called T9, when you are touching the numbers, and according the numbers, according the any possible letter possibilities, it's try to search matches that about last calls, anything. But it's so there is a separate recent, there is a separate keypad, there is a separate contact, and everything is working, but it's just so cumbersome. And what I use instead, I think it's called True Phone or something like that. Everything is in one place. So this is the log. This was the recent one and the less recent in the list. And when you start hitting the T9, it's searching in the log itself, in the contacts, and in everything. So never again need to go to the contact separately. Never again there is separated to resend, to contact, to dial pad, and everything is in one place, and you have a very big menu option like view the contact, call him, text message, send email, share, block, delete, everything in one place. You even have separated buttons that you can add. If there is no contact, you can check the info about this person, swipe left, swipe right, everything can have a different command, and it is great. You can set everything, the height of the dial pad, how big these list views are, so how many fits there. So it is great. Something I had an iPhone and I couldn't change this. It was a couple years ago, and in that time it was not allowed. It was partly allowed. I could use it as dialing, but it was very confusing, and still confusing with the Samsung stock dialer. I'm coming from a Huawei phone, Huawei P20 Pro, and the stock dialer was very similar to this, with less customization option, with less things, but basically it's worked like this. So never need to go to, this is the best part, never need to go to anywhere. There is, first of all, no need to make like favorites, because the favorites are basically the last calls you made, more or less. If you are not, you start the first button, like I don't know, anything you do, and it's there immediately. And you can customize not even this, everything, like the shape of the call button, everything. It's awesome, basically. Okay, there is a lot settings about the touch sensitivity. There edge, accidental touch protection. My experience is, if the accidental touch protection is there, then many times you have to touch the things twice, because it's just it thinks that it was an accidental touch. Not a cool thing, especially if you have a case. With this case, it's very thick. It's no chance you accidentally. I mean, there is the chance, but it's not likely you will accidentally touch it, because I don't know. Anyway, so I had a lot issue about touching something and not exactly there, a little bit edge or something like that, and it's not registering my touch, and that is very annoying, to be honest. There is this notification option as a brief notification, and it's very hard to actually touch it because it's so small. I bought this phone second hand. This is my ever phone I bought second hand. It was a very good deal, and the guy sold it with this case. Amazing. This is my main issue. Whenever I put this down, and oh my god, the camera, the scratches, oh my god, how should it anything up, the trick. I don't really understand why not Samsung came out with something like this, even with some sensor to make it as a switch, that when I do this, I turn the camera on, and so easy. I don't know. So about the camera is quite okay. The actual image quality and the lens it has, it's great, and the option is great, and the zoom is exceptional and everything, but it's still a little slow. Like, there is plenty of light now, and it's, the photography is about take a moment when you want to take it, and it's not like wait. Now it's quite fast, but sometimes it's very laggy. I had this problem that I used to have on the Huawei phone, the Aperture Mode, which is makes the very shallow depth of field and imitate it for those pictures when you don't do a portrait, so your subject is not a face or not people, but something like this. And the good news is you can do it, imitate it with the portraiture mode. So just it said portrait, but it doesn't mean you cannot do it for any other subject, which is a good thing. When it's laggy, it's actually, there are some settings like automatic scene recognition, or I don't, scene optimizer, and HDR, and I don't know, a lot of stuff. if you disable these settings, then it's much faster. Another thing, as I said many times, I have to touch buttons twice, like even the home button. Sometimes when I have a call, and when I finish the call, I have to I sometimes it's quite often I have to touch it twice. I can see it's registered because it has this changing animation, but I can see many times it's just many times I touch call and touch call and just I can see I touched it, but it doesn't do anything. I can see it had the animation, and I don't know, maybe it thinks I would like to just scroll because I'm not touching directly, like I have some additional direction. I don't know. The other thing, which is I had when I had the P20 Pro as well, chat, and I type very fast, or I just type many times, so it's like deleting the first letter I put there. It's already there, but it's like, I don't know, it's very confusing. It's randomly deleting. It's a lot. I googled it. They said when I turn off the spell correction, then it's better, and it is better. So there is some spell correction issue that it's, I don't know. I use the Swift key, and I also use the Google. I also use the Samsung built-in keyboard. Same thing. The Anysoft keyboard, which is very cool, because if you are not an English speaking and you have accented character you want to use, then it's very cool that it's there. The always on display is good. It's a lifesaver. I don't even understand how people use their phone without always on display. But the thing is that these icons are not white. It's very hard to see. When it's too much light, it's hard to see. When it's not enough light, it's hard to see, because it has, of course, the automatic backlit adjustment, and it's always not enough. It's always a little underlit or underlighted, under bright. I don't know how to say. So many times I have to look at twice. There is some yeah, settings. There is some settings you can actually set it the way that it can be either automatic or manual. If you do it manually, then yeah, you always have to do it. Or yeah, it's like a little confusing. It should be just a little adjustment that yeah, I want automatic, but it's a little more, like a little. There is this trick that the installation to any application is very slow when you do this, and somebody said it's because in the settings there is this device protection, yeah, which is, I turned it off because when I turned it on, I don't know if it's confused a little bit if this was this one or not, but I just give you a hint. There is this issue, which is, I don't know if it's country specific or not. I have never had with the P20, the Huawei, that when I have a phone call, I cannot use the internet. It's not Wi-Fi. I am on the data, and the no Wi-Fi there. And I have a phone call. I would like to check something during the phone call, and there is no internet, because somehow the phone is using it or not. There was some recommended settings. I did it and I still couldn't use it. It's what there was very confusing. Yeah, it's something, I guess, maybe not Samsung specific, but yeah, as I said, my previous phone didn't have it. So anyway, yeah, something like this. I'm not sure I have anything else to say just as of now. It's a good phone. It's yeah, now since the reset, it's, I could even say, reliable. I had previous Samsung phones and always had this Windows effect. I called it Windows effect. I know it's a little degrading. You know, when you use an app and then you go home and it's slowly one by one it's putting up the app icons. That is a Windows effect. When you are, I don't know, it's refreshing RAM, or I don't know. This doesn't have it. So the actual Samsung user interface, one user interface is changed a lot, especially since TouchWiz. It was very slow. This is better. This is much faster. My first thing always with a Samsung phone to change the navigation. If you go to the, I guess everybody knows, especially if somebody is looking for a video, that it's not the first video probably, so you know that there is the developer option. The developer option is available if you, I don't know which one, maybe the legal information, no it's not, maybe the status information and serial number, yeah, maybe not. Anyway, there is a trick that touch one information, you will Google it, one information like 7 times or 8 times, and then it will say, yeah, you are 3, 2, 1 more touch away from the from turning on the developer option. And if you do that, there is a new option here called developer option, and you have many developer stuff. And the best is that there is categories like network, and there is like I don't know, drawing, yeah. And in the drawing there is this window, animation scale, transition animation, and animation duration scale, which is like by default 1 times 1x, and you can turn this off, everything like off, and when you do it's like doing everything immediately, tong tong boing. So it's no that delay what you had because of the design of this animation, which is cool. And I was always doing this because it's so fast. But since now the recent one, good hardware, the user interface is okay, so I don't need it anymore, or this is not my first thing to do. There are other developer options, like it's actually showing where to touch the screen and stuff like that. It's very cool. Recently I found this option that smart view is not the smart switch, smart view. If you have a smart TV at home which supporting this thing, then you turn on, it's scanning the TV, you say, yeah, I would like to connect to the TV, and the TV just said, yeah, one phone is connected, do you want to share the screen, blah blah blah. Yeah, you say okay, and everything you see here, it's there. Yeah, the camera is awesome. It's true. This shutter lag is like unacceptable, really. Like, what? I am a photographer, so yeah, when you take a photo, the whole point of taking a photo to actually capturing that moment you want to. So not like a second later when the kid is not there anymore, or when the dog is not there anymore. No, that moment. And yeah, it's awful. I still don't understand why there is no camera button on the phones. It was so cool. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so this is about it. I hope I didn't forget anything, and leave comments about what is your issues, or what maybe I was something I couldn't tell it clearly, or explain well, or anything. Yep.